Welcome to my studio. You're going to see a shortened version of a video that I have made a while back for my Patreon channel. If you'd like to see the longer version, I hope you will visit my Patreon channel and where I have a lot of other content. And I'll be shortening some of those videos in the future and posting those here on YouTube. So I hope you enjoyed this one. To begin this abstract portrait in pastel, I am starting with an underpainting, a very bold underpainting in blues and reds. And I'm applying this fluid acrylic on a sheet of Reeves BFK printmaking paper that I have taped down to my board. And I'm really doing this without much preliminary thought, except that I really want some bold, broken color. And then I'm going to apply a drawing on top of this. So that's what I'm doing here. Next, I'm taking a piece of vine charcoal and I'm going to roughly put in where the edges of the head are going to be. I do have a photograph of my sister that I'm going to use, but I'm just going to put in with this piece of vine charcoal where the edges of the head will go, where the placement of the eyes, nose, and mouth will go. I'm using vine charcoal because I know if I make a mistake, I can just wipe that off. It's not a really dark line, and I don't want a really dark line. So I do have a small photograph that I am using of an image that I took many years ago. So I'm using that. It's pretty high contrast image with a lot of shadows, but it will make a really nice abstracted portrait. I always draw just the middle of the lips. I don't make an outline of the top and the bottom lip. Never do. And then that area underneath the nose that defines the top lip, there's an area underneath the chin that's shaded. And so here I have got in her face, and I can kind of look at the side of the face and say, well, what is that? She kind of has a little cleft in her chin. So there we go, the side of the face. So that's probably good to start. So you can see that I'm darkening things in. I'm putting in the rest of the facial outlines and the hair, and I really am fascinated with how that random underpainting breaks up the face, and it's really exciting to see what am I going to do with this as I proceed. I really like those bold swaths of blue and red going through the face, and then the white areas. So this is going to be a lot of fun to work on. So the next thing I'm going to do is take this bristle brush from the hardware store and some Liquitex clear gesso, and I'm brushing it over my completed drawing. I could have reversed this process and put the clear gesso on first and then draw, but this is how I do it. And one of the reasons why I do it is because it kind of loosens up some of the lines that I created, and it's just part of the layering process. The Liquitex clear gesso, straight out of the bottle, creates a really great texture for pastel, and I enjoy seeing some of the brush strokes that are left by this bristle brush. And this is the next step, is doing this and letting this dry, drying it with my hair dryer so that I can proceed. So I'm comparing my drawing with the portion of my photograph that I've been using, and I'm really happy with the look. And now the next thing I'm going to do is start applying some pastel. I have tested out colors on a paper towel, which also helps me clean those pastels, and I've chosen some different values, dark, medium, light, of reds and blues, and also some neutrals with yellow ochre and some grays. And I've got those laying out on my table after I tested them and cleaned them, and I'm going to start applying those next to my drawing. Blue. I pulled out a collection of just different pastels based on their color, actually. This is so where it's dark, I'm going to use the darker pastels. Where it's light, I'll use the lighter pastels. I'm just going to block those in right now, and then I'll start kind of manipulating them. I might start doing, a little bit of shading to kind of go with the photo. It's just kind of a combination of kind of keeping this. Okay, here we go. Okay, I think I'll put some darker red up there. And maybe sometimes this side of the head will just fade into the background here. I think that's what I'll do, is just let that kind of fade back there. Well, I'm starting to bring this to a conclusion, and I'm enhancing certain colors, I'm refining certain areas, making some areas stand out. It's been a really fun project, a really fun experiment to work on an abstract underpainting and put a face on top of it. Give it a try. To see the longer version of this video, you can check out my Patreon channel, and I have a lot of other videos that are on my Patreon channel. So thanks for watching, and please hit subscribe.